by taking Adavan to put me to sleep, which is a powerful depressant.
It's a cruel but destructive kind of efficiency, using uppers to meet the external demands.
And then the downers to force the rest he needs. He's essentially chemically overriding his body's natural broken state just to survive the day, to be productive.
Yeah.
And this brings us to the core contradiction here. He understands the intellectual trap he's in, but he can't seem to escape it.
He sees it so clearly.
He recognizes temptations, 10 ways that I could justify everything I know I should stay away from. He acknowledges the false faith in my conviction. He even says he knows he's bluffing.
That tension, between knowing the right thing to do and repeatedly choosing the destructive path, that's what experts call the intention-action gap.
Exactly.
He sets the intention to change, but something always prevents the action from actually happening.
And that concept is so crucial here. Just knowing about the trap doesn't give you the key to escape it. The immediate relief from that shallow burial or the rinse and repeat cycle is just stronger than the abstract promise of long-term health. That false faith is just enough cover to let the cycle run for one more day.
And this whole destructive cycle, it's not happening in a vacuum. It's set against the backdrop of a grinding, relentless daily life. The external context just compounds the internal pain exponentially.
That's a critical turning point in the analysis, I think. This isn't just psychological distress in isolation. It's happening under the weight of these severe external stressors and a really unforgiving routine.
The details really ground it for you.
They do. Being in my bed by 4:30 in the morning, now I'm awake,
Yeah.
then having to immediately make it to work, and noting that every single day is just the same old thing. The monotony itself becomes another source of despair.
Right. The relentless pressure of that routine leaves no space for healing, no time for reflection. And then there's also the pressure of ambition and place, which he mentions with the phrase Pennsylvania pain.
That geographic reference, it grounds the struggle, but it also carries this professional weight. He describes coming from a place where there's no artist that ever made it out.
So there's this added layer of existential pressure.
A huge layer. His potential is described as limitless with no ending. But almost in the same breath, that potential becomes so detrimental.
That is a fascinating paradox, isn't it? Limitless potential is a psychological burden.
It is, because when your potential feels limitless, any failure to actually realize it feels catastrophic. He feels he has mental wounds with no men-like, no resources, no support system, no path to fix the cognitive damage.
So the pressure to escape his environment and fulfill this limitless promise just becomes another heavyweight.
Another front in the internal war against his own brain.
So, okay, we've identified the storm. Life-threatening physical health, deep denial, chemical dependency just to survive, and this overwhelming external pressure. It honestly looks like a formula for defeat.
It really does.
But this is where we have to turn to the counter-narrative, this tenacious survival instinct that runs throughout the whole piece.
Yes. Despite the exhaustion, the self-sabotage, the will to survive is just unshakable.
Yeah.
The core of his resolve is in that fierce, repeated declaration, I won't lose to this pain.
That's not just optimism, is it?
No. It's active resistance. It's a non-negotiable refusal to accept his current state as the final word.
And there's this determination to prioritize forward movement no matter how hard it is. He says, I just keep moving for won't break my stride. It's like momentum is the only way to counteract the forces pulling him back.
And there's an urgency there, too. I only got one chance, won't waste my time.
The ultimate goal seems to be framed by this refusal to surrender. He says, never giving up hope and never accept defeat. Even when the battle feels impossible, he's determined to go out with a bang. He refuses to let the illness define his end.
And then there's the most surprising and I think profound line that's repeated throughout all this chaos. Amidst the physical weakness and the psychological warfare, he just says, I give thanks.
Yeah. What do you make of that?
I think the gratitude is more than just a thankful feeling. I think it's the fundamental foundation of his resilience. It suggests that even in the absolute worst of it, there's a core belief that life itself, or maybe just the opportunity, still holds value.
And that belief provides the fuel.
It provides the essential fuel needed to make that declaration, I won't lose to this pain, actually credible.
So to bring this all together, we've explored this tension between the immediate powerful force of self-medication and denial and this really tenacious core will to survive and to change. And he acknowledges this pivot point near the end, reflecting, I think I finally arrived at the proper place and the time to finally change my mind.
That's the moment of cognitive clarity. But, the narrative has already shown us in meticulous detail how easy it is to set that intention
Mm.
and how incredibly difficult it is to actually execute the change.
Right.
That initial strategy, trying to bury this pain deep down inside, it's never really successful because it's done in that shallow place. Avoiding the confrontation only guarantees the pain will resurface. It just delays the inevitable.
And that brings us right back to that intention-action gap. He sets these different intentions, but in the very next breath, he admits, I know I never keep up with. It's such a brutal self-assessment.
It is. And that's the final thought we want to leave you with, you the listener, as you think about your own battles, internal or external.
We all set intentions for change, don't we? To fight procrastination, to adopt better habits, to address some underlying pain.
Always. But building on the author's own frustration, we have to ask, what specific environmental or internal factors are preventing us from keeping those positive intentions we set when we're fighting our toughest internal battles? What makes the shallow place, that temporary fix, so overwhelmingly appealing, even when we know the consequences?
Think about that gap between your intention and your action until the next deep dive.